maybe a week or two ago, I got into a conversation with my sister-in-law about Marc Lamont Hill and Dr. Umar, right? Also, this stemmed from Umar's public outcry a couple weeks ago. He was begging for money, right? It started there, but a week before that, I went to see Dr. Umar here in Chicago, and I was so disappointed in the goddamn conversation. And I only went because Bella wanted to go, right? Bella has become a
I remember you
fast
said
fan.
he's turned into an entertainer.
Yeah, Bella's became a fast fan of Dr. Umar, so he was here. So, just because of the way he comes, I can introduce it to him. It's something, I can get her in that space.
Are you about to do the dichotomy between when you took Eric to see him?
Huh? No, I'm not.
You should.
Two very different things, though, right?
Right.
But I took Bella to see him, and it was like a stand-up comedy show, and I was embarrassed. You know what I mean? And then a week later, he comes out begging for money, right? So me and my sister-in-law just having a conversation. I said, man, I'm going to get on the pod, and I can't wait to talk about this nigga begging for money. But only because I was mad about the comedy show that he had put on the week before. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gave a shit, right? But I was like, this shit is getting to be, like, satirical. You know what I mean? It's a characterization of the man you once were.
Like everything else in black culture.
But we get into a conversation at my sister-in-law's house, and she was like, yeah, man, I can't stand him. I wish Marc Lamont Hill, that. And she was like, Marc Lamont Hill is way better than him. Marc Lamont Hill, this, that, and third. And I like Marc Lamont Hill, too. But I said, Carl, don't confuse yourself. Dr. Umar's way more influential than Marc Lamont Hill. And she said, no, he's not. And I said, are you crazy? Dr. Umar's way more influential than Dr. Marc Lamont Hill. And I respect both men. Don't get it fucked up. But as far as like visibility and notoriety, Umar's big. He's a big name, right? So I did a very simple task. I said, look, so there's Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And Umar's million something. Lamont Hill's like 500,000 or something. A very big difference, right? She was like, well, that's social media. You don't know. That don't mean shit. But it took us to a different conversation. And it took us to a different conversation that in a lot of ways points out the differences that are between me and my sister-in-law. And she was like, man, Marc Lamont Hill can get into certain rooms Umar can't get into. Marc Lamont Hill's going to get recognized in certain organizations and by certain people Umar's never going to get acknowledged by, right? And it's the same thing as the Jay-Z and Snoop conversation in my mind, right? And I kept saying, man, you moving the goalposts. We talking about influence, not value, influence, right? But then if you pull the layers back, it depends on how you view influence.
And it depends on how you view value.
Right, but it also depends on how you view influence, right? Because here's what she said, right? And I agree with her in this sense. Like, Marc Lamont Hill's going to go into rooms where he can be around and command a lot of money. Umar been begging for $2 million opening the school for 20 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the level of status and the claim of notoriety you have, $2 million
He's run through $2 million probably 10 times.
Yeah, that ain't shit, right? And maybe you just a grifter in the comment, I don't know. But either way, you shouldn't be begging for $2 million for 10 years with the level of visibility you have. Marc Lamont Hill could have got to that same $2 million in a quarter of the time because of the access to the people he's got. And she was like, that just proves his influence over Umar's influence. And I said, no, I don't agree with that, right? But it's a matter of how we see influence. Yeah. One, perspective-based, right? And the other part of that perspective too, Marc Lamont Hill is in certain and specific rooms that Umar can never get into. But they also blackballed Dr. Marc Lamont Hill when he started talking about Palestine and Israel. They cut his ass off TV for a long time.
Cut his water off.
And it was niggas that came back and saved him. They can't do that to Umar. They can't cut his water off.
Because he's not attached to them.
Because he's not attached to them.